Today, baby, fried chicken, all flats. Yes, honey, this is a new look. I went walking on the treadmill for an hour, but I wanted to prep my chicken first before I got dressed. Because yes, my back is big. I just don't want it no bigger. So here I have 2 pounds of cleaned all flats chicken wings. Now I'm gonna season my chicken heavily, but I'm not gonna measure, so follow me. Packet of sazon, onion powder, some garlic powder. Instead of adding 2 or 3 different herbs, I'm just gonna use Italian seasoning. The Large seasoning salt, smoked paprika, black pepper, 2 eggs, that Louisiana hot sauce. The salt should be the boss. I'm gonna let this marinate in the fridge for about an hour to an hour and a half while I shower and get dressed. So here I have 1 cup of plain flour and a 1/3 cup of cornstarch. I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons to our chicken. Should look something like that. Now I need a little bit more flour and cornstarch. For my cornstarch and flour, I'm gonna add the same dry seasonings except for the sazon. Gonna add our wings and pack it in real tight. It should look like this, like this. Now let your bread get here for 10 minutes. I have some peanut oil heated up to 365, and we're gonna do a single fry into 2 batches. Drive them on in, baby. I like my chicken fried hard, so I usually fry for 10 to 12 minutes, but these are kind of small, so I'm gonna fry for 8 to 10. Now bring your temperature back up to 365. Ooh, it's a beauty. Listen, I don't want no dipping sauce or nothing. It's right for you. Honey, the flavor. I salted it perfectly. It is so good. Ooh, what's your favorite piece? Wing or drums? Mine's is the obvious. Now, if you want to know, it's not spicy at all. The hot sauce is just there to give it some flavor, not heat. Now, if you want to know where I got my wings, I got wing portions from Sam's Club, and I just took out the flats. Now, I have about 5 fried chicken recipes, 3 of which I've already shown. The other 2 are to come. Happy Juneteenth, guys. Give them a try. They're so good. Today, baby, $1 million spaghetti. Now, after discovering this viral TikTok spaghetti, I've yet to create spaghetti any other way. So y'all already know what to do, but it's still fun to watch, isn't it? Come on, shenanigans. I add 1 pound of ground turkey. I'm gonna season it with some garlic powder, Tony's no salt seasoning, heavy on the Italian seasoning, large pinch of salt, black pepper. Gonna add in 1/2 of a medium yellow onion and 1/2 of green bell pepper. I'm gonna add a 24-ounce jar of this Rayo's. Same dry seasonings as before. Gonna allow this to simmer for 10 minutes while we work on our Alfredo sauce. I'm using the same pot that I boiled my noodles in. 1 pint of heavy whipping cream, garlic powder, 1/2 stick of butter. And what do we put in that butter? That butter. A little more Italian seasoning, pinch of salt, grate in that Parmesan cheese. Now we're turning off our sauce. Adding in about 10 to 12 ounces of our spaghetti noodles. Ooh, honey. The fun part. Pasta. Mixture of provolone, mozzarella, and Parmesan cheese. So I'm gonna bake at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to put it on broil on high until the cheese gets bubbly and brown. While talking to my sister on the phone, I burnt some of it up, but that's okay. Flavor. Top it with some fresh basil. Ooh, give me some of that love. Honey, you can ask my family. I'm always ready to one up a song, okay? Let us partake. Ooh. Cheers. There's a reason why this is so good. Easy recipe. Ooh. It's just so good. Today, baby, shrimp and chicken hibachi and rice. Ew. Can y'all hear my earrings? Because if I can hear them while I edit, it's gonna be the last time I wear them. Let's get started. So I'm gonna start with my protein because I want them to marinate for a bit. So I have 3 chicken thighs that I've diced up. You can use breast meat or chicken tenders if you like. Adding in about 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda just for them to tenderize. A little ground ginger, about a clove of fresh garlic, a dash or 2 of white pepper, black pepper, about a tablespoon of soy sauce, about a tablespoon of oyster sauce, a tablespoon of that melanin sugar, a little avocado oil to bind it together. Here I have a pound of shrimp and a little avocado oil. I know that cuisine police are gonna come after me, but I'm adding this. I don't care. I'm from Maryland. Low sodium obey. And we'll add our soy sauce when it cooks. For our veggies, I have yellow squash, zucchini, and an onion. Now this is the way that I make like the Japanese American hibachi. I'm gonna cut my onion into chunks, not necessarily small dice. So it'll kind of look like that, like chunks. It'll separate as it cooks. And now it's time to sweat. Typically wok my Asian food. You ask for hibachi and this is as close as it's gonna come. Now the hibachi restaurants that I've been to, they normally do rice, veggies, and then protein. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna add my butter. Put that other butter. A little avocado oil. And here I have about 1.5 cups of cooked rice, about 2 days old. Chocolate and green onions, so I'm gonna use the whites of these onions and add it in. I'm gonna crack in 1 egg on the side, add some garlic powder, a dusting of white pepper, tiny pinch of salt, black pepper, and also about 2 cloves of garlic. We're coming along, we're coming along. I'm gonna add in my soy sauce. I got it from my local Asian market. I'll also add in a little bit of dark soy sauce. Surprisingly, this has a little bit less sodium than regular soy sauce. I want to get it a little bit more melanated. Next up, our veggies. That butter and udder. Mix everything in the butter a little bit. Add in about 2 cloves of garlic. This is really all the seasoning I'm going to use besides the soy sauce. Just flatten the veggies out and just cook to your desired tenderness. Now I'm going to add our soy sauce. And I'm going to mix. Ooh, yummy! Ooh. Leave it on long enough so the soy sauce can caramelize your veggies. Next up will be our protein. Do a little wet water in between each one. Add a little bit of oil. We're gonna flatten it out. Now just leave it alone for roughly about 5 minutes so it can build a nice little crust. Now all it needs is about another 2 minutes. Next up is our shrimp. Once again, that other shrimp. And all they need is about 1.5 minutes on each side. You want to know what temperature I've been cooking at? I have no idea. I've had this thing for so long, the temperature range is gone. Add our soy sauce. Allow it to caramelize a bit. So who's coming over? Just under soul food and comfort food, Asian cuisine is my absolute favorite. Get a little bit of everything. And then a little hot chili oil. You already know, first bite for you. Honey, bring out a church shout. I can't even finish it before I even tell you. This meal is so flavorful. Oh my gosh. I need a minute, baby. I'm shrimp. Come on, bite some veggies. So good. I mean, this whole entire dish, I kid you not, is so delicious. When a dish turns out better than what you thought it would, if you haven't used it before, try a little bit of white pepper. Be very light-handed with it because it is very strong. No matter how big your dish is, maybe start out with about 1/4 teaspoon. It's very strong. You gotta give it a try. It is so good. Today, baby, pepper jack mac and cheese. Honey Sargento sent me a care package today. They gave me an apron, some other goodies, plenty of sheets. No, this isn't sponsored, but they can. I want to use the pepper jack that they gave me, plus I had pepper jack already in the fridge. Mac and cheese. So in my boiling water, I added some chicken bouillon. And for my noodles, I'm going to use this cavatappi noodles. That's 1 pound of noodles, and we're going to cook them until they're al dente. So of course, I have 2 packages of pepper jack cheese. They're 7.5 ounces each. 8 ounces of white cheddar. And here I also have 8 ounces of American sliced cheese. We're going to shred it all. So here's my American cheese, and then here's my pepper jack and cheddar. I'm taking half of this cheese, and I'm putting it into the American cheese because I want all of this to melt into the noodles. This I'm going to save for the top, and in between, put in my noodles. I'm adding in 1.5 cups of half and half. Half a stick of butter. And what do we put in that butter? That other. About 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and our cheese. Some of y'all are probably saying, Miriam, where is the roux? In all my years of cooking, I've never made a macaroni and cheese roux before, ever. And it's not that I don't know how, I just never grew up making a roux for mac and cheese. Now bake at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes and then put it on broil on high until the cheese get all bubbly and brown. Isn't she lovely? You know you get the first bite. I already dug into it before I did my today, baby. I especially love this paired with Caribbean dishes. Get those globs of cheesiness in between those noodles. This is so good.